Hi, I'm Adam's Downboy, and welcome to the second video in the Mother Clucker Clan's comprehensive guide to the reprised Destiny 2 version of the Crota's End raid. Together with my clanmates Aaron PK, Electric Sheep, Hathu, Jester, Minoni and Tooks, we're going to try and demonstrate how to tackle the first encounter proper, the Stills, more commonly known as the Lamps or the Abyss encounter. Like most other Destiny raids, the first encounter is a mechanics encounter, so you don't have to worry about setting up for a boss fight. This was a very exciting run of the encounter for us, as it was almost a flawless and is, as far as we know, the first time that the Cluckers have completed it on our first attempt, including opening the secret chest. So anyway, we're now officially experts. Your goal is to traverse the Abyss to the portal at the end. You'll make your way through the set path of a dark arena to form a bridge to the next encounter by standing on a capture plate. In order to do this, you will need to empower 5 podiums of light, we call them preserve buckets, while juggling the Chalice of Light mechanic timed buffs and debuffs and a Fireteam wipe timer. Where you land, dropping down the hive lift from the descent section, you'll see a rally banner area and, in front of you, another bucket with a Chalice of Light. The Abyss is a very dark arena, without much help from your Ghost's light, so if you haven't already, it's best to turn up contrast and brightness on your TV or monitor, and to turn the brightness up in-game in Destiny's video settings. This will give you more of a chance of finding your way around. If you're desperate, you can pull out your Ghost briefly to let the light pulse illuminate the outlines of objects in front of you. The encounter isn't started until you pick up the Chalice, or wander too far out, but there really isn't that much you'll be able to see except a green glowing lamp in the distance and a lantern swinging like a pendulum across your path. From this map, you can see that you're starting at the bottom of a path up a hill. In your way will be a continuously spawning crowd of Thrall, Cursed Thrall and Sword Knights, insta-kill pits and swinging lanterns that can kill you if you're already damaged or boop you off the side of a map or into a pit. The lantern positions are fixed and they can swing at a right angle across your path, diagonally or in line. On the plus side, they seem to be equally dangerous to the adds in the Abyss too. Along the path you follow are 16 lamps. These are staging posts for your Fireteam that everyone should try to converge on and are the main objects that you can interact with to use the Enlighten buff on in the encounter. The lamps might look familiar, as they also appear in one section of the Lightblade Vanguard strike in Savathûn's throne world. In the strike, they're activated by approaching them, but in Crota's End, they'll stay inactive until they're enlightened. When activated with the Enlighten buff, the lamp will illuminate fully. The edge of the lamp's aura will appear on the ground around it, and Guardians standing inside this aura will have stacks of a debuff called Weight of Darkness, which I'll explain shortly, removed at the rate of 1 stack per second. However, similar to the strike, you can't stand around for too long. After 15 seconds, the lamp will gradually turn from white to a golden yellow and then reddish orange colour before exploding, killing anyone standing close by. Some of the lamps will have buckets. You can see that the first lamp has a guaranteed Chalice preservation bucket, and the remaining 4 can appear randomly at locations within a group. So bucket 2 can appear at lamp 3, 4 or 5, bucket 3 at lamp 6, 7, 8 or 9, bucket 4 at lamp 10, 11, 12 or 13, and bucket 5 at lamp 14 or 15, and you'll never see 2 buckets back to back. It's essential to use the Preserve Chalice interaction prompt wherever you find a bucket. If you look ahead and see that the next lamp is completely dark, then it can't be enlightened. Preserving the Chalice primes the next lamp so that it's ready to be lit. All 5 preserve buckets in the Abyss must be used in order to prime the capture plate that constructs the bridge to the exit. You'll see the message, "A podium of light has been activated" on screen when the Chalice has been successfully preserved. The next Holder Guardian can use the Reclaim Chalice interaction prompt to take it out of the bucket again. You'll be juggling multiple timed debuffs in here. The wipe mechanic is called Engulfed in Darkness and has a 1-minute timer. This will be reset every time the Enlighten buff is used to light a lamp or when the Chalice is preserved in a bucket, and as usual, if this reaches 0, that will kill everyone. You'll also notice the Weight of Darkness debuff I mentioned earlier. Again, you should be familiar with this from running the Lightblade strike on Savathûn's throne world. You'll start out with 0 stacks, with your mobility increasingly restricted until you get to the maximum 10 stacks. More than one stack and you won't be able to double jump. When you get to 10, you'll only be able to move naturally at walking speed. On the plus side, it won't kill you, but it will make it more difficult to avoid the swinging lanterns, which will reduce you to about 10% health even if you just brush up against them, and outrun chasing ads without using additional movement tools. The key to success in the Abyss is managing these together with the Enlighten mechanics from before. The Chalice of Light meter, and the Engulfed in Light and Drained of Light timers, as well as keeping track of who is currently carrying the Enlightened buff. I cover these mechanics more fully in the first video of this series, so I'll just describe them here in brief. Picking up the chalice, either from a bucket or from another guardian, starts a meter that will fill after 30 seconds. It fills faster if you or anyone nearby is killing ads. This can reduce the time to nearer 20 seconds. When this is full, this starts a 10-second Engulfed in Light debuff timer. You must get rid of the chalice before this reaches 0, either by preserving the chalice in a bucket or by another guardian taking it from you, or you will die. Having the chalice taken from you by a guardian grants a buff called Enlightened. Using a preserve bucket does not. This buff is what's used to interact with objects. In the Abyss, that's the lamps and the capture plate at the end. After using the buff, you'll then start a 45-second Drained of Light timer. While you're either Enlightened or Drained of Light, you'll be unable to claim the chalice again. So whoever has the chalice will need to keep an eye on the new debuffs as well as the Chalice of Light meter. You should call out when it hits 75% to let the next holder know to get ready, but it's sometimes easy to overlook the meter if you're otherwise engaged with ad clear, so if you are next, be ready to take it with no notice. Remember, if you're next in line, your main job is to stick to the hip of the current holder if they're standing at a lamp, or to run close behind, ready to claim the chalice if you're en route to the next lamp. It's possible to run the stills encounter rotating the chalice through just 3 guardians with the remaining 3 on ad clear. The timing for this is quite tight though, so cluckers prefer to rotate through the whole Fireteam. That way everyone can get experience with the Enlighten mechanic for later encounters and for future raids. In completing the lamps, the main problem Fireteams seem to have is rushing, trying to run this as a sprint and enlightening lamps as soon as they get to them to try and maintain momentum. Rather than do that, it's far better to take your time, making sure that everyone's ready to move to the next lamp before you enlighten it, so giving everyone the time to clear their Weight of Darkness stacks first. Doing this means you'll have a better chance of the holder getting to the next lamp before their meter fills. Swapping there is much easier and safer than when you're running between them when the Fireteam's spread out. Not rushing additionally gives other Guardians a chance to run the timer down on their Drained of Light debuff. Another problem, counterintuitively, is that you might have too many people being enlightened at the same time. This usually happens when reviving a teammate, if you go to the secret chest after the 5th lamp, or if you have to spend time having to go back to a previous bucket to reacquire the Chalice of Light. It's quite easy for the meter to fill a couple of times through your Fireteam while you wait, and if your Fireteam is moving fast and you're not able to use the buff at the next lamp you arrive at, you'll sometimes find yourself in a position where you're the next holder in turn, but you're unable to take the chalice, resulting in the death of the current chalice holder. It's less of a problem as you get closer to the capture plate, where anyone who's enlightened can wait to dump their buff into the plate itself to speed up the bridge building, but it's best not to allow multiple buffs in your Fireteam to build up before you get beyond, say, the 12th lamp, and even then no more than a couple extra. If you do start picking up multiple enlightened Fireteam members early on, you can just dump the chalice directly into a preserve bucket rather than have it taken by the next Fireteam member. Doing so won't enlighten you, although it will start the Drained of Light timer. Alternatively, 2 members of the Fireteam can juggle the chalice, passing it backwards and forwards before the meter fills, until the additional buffs have been used on lamps and you're back to just 1 person who's enlightened and 1 person charging the chalice. You can keep the order for your holders that you agreed at the start of the raid. Guardian 1 should now run forward and claim the chalice, and the whole Fireteam will run to the first lamp. There's 1 swinging lantern to avoid on your way. When there, Guardian 1 will build up the meter until their Engulfed in Light timer starts. The first lantern always has a preserve bucket, so Guardian 2 just takes the chalice at this point and uses the preserve chalice interaction to put it straight in there. You'll see the message, "A podium of light has been activated" on screen when successful. Guardian 3 now immediately picks it up using the Reclaim Chalice prompt. Guardian 1 should wait to interact with the lamp to enlighten it until Guardian 3 confirms this has been done. Guardians 1 and 2 will now have the Drained of Light debuff. Guardian 2 from putting the chalice in the bucket, and Guardian 1 from using the Enlighten buff on the first lamp. The Engulfed by Darkness timer will also have been reset. Again, a first time when Guardian 2 preserved the chalice, and then shortly afterwards when Guardian 1 enlightened the lamp. The Fireteam should hang around when it lights up to reduce their stacks of Weight of Darkness, and the Fireteam leader will tell everyone to move to the next lamp once they judge the current lamp is close to blowing. The Cluckers usually miss the second lamp and run straight to the third. Less experienced Guardians should follow the path used by the Sherpa, who can call out the location of holes and swinging lanterns as they go. Once there, whoever's first to arrive will look to the location of the next lamp and see if it's glowing or dark. If it's dark, they can call out that there's a preserve bucket nearby. This is always in the same location on any particular lamp. Whoever finds a bucket first should ideally stand by it and call to the chalice holder that it's at their location. Guardian 3 will be ready to pass the chalice on soon after arriving, so Guardian 4 will need to be following closely to interact with them to take it when prompted. If there's a bucket, then the chalice will get preserved there and picked up again before Guardian 3 enlightens the lamp. Alternatively, if there's no preserved bucket at the third lamp, then as soon as the Fireteam is assembled and Guardian 3 has told Guardian 4 to take the chalice, Guardian 3 can light the lamp, the Fireteam can stay close to reduce their Weight of Darkness stacks, and again leave when told to by the lead Guardian. By now, enough time should have passed for Guardians 1 and 2 to lose the Drained of Light debuff, and they'll be able to claim the chalice again. As before, preserving the chalice or enlightening the lamp resets the Engulfed in Darkness timer. This should ideally be how each lamp is tackled. Every time you leave a lamp after enlightening and removing your Weight of Darkness, you have around 50 seconds of the wipe timer to work with. As long as no one falls behind or is killed and needs reviving, if you wait to enlighten until a chalice has been preserved and the next holder has reclaimed it, and everyone is present at the lamp, or if you do have people catching you up and they're not there yet until you have 5 seconds left on the Engulfed in Darkness timer, you should have a relatively stress-free journey to the final capture plate. As you can see on the map, the first secret chest is in a small side room along the left-hand wall after the 5th lamp. Like with all secret chests, it can drop gear that you've already acquired from the encounter chests and any raid mods you're yet to drop. In making your way to it and then to the 6th lamp, you will need to swap out the chalice en route. Remember, if you're the next scheduled holder, you should be following close behind the current holder so you're able to interact quickly and prevent their death. If you're having problems with picking up the secret chest while running from the 5th to the 6th lamp, it might be preferable to just run from the start without picking up the chalice, hugging the left wall until you get to the 5th side room door, and then just team wipe and restart when everyone's got their loot. The 1 minute Engulfed in Darkness wipe timer should give you enough time to get in there and open the chest before it runs out. That way you can just run straight from the 5th to the 6th lamp without worrying about extra Enlighten buffs being collected along the way. If, while you're running, anyone does die with the chalice, you do have an opportunity to quickly interact and collect it, as it will stay on the corpse for a few seconds before despawning. Anyone nearby able to should grab it whether it's their turn or not. When this happens, the Cluckers restart the enlightening rotation from the person who's picked it up, if that's possible, so we don't have to suddenly learn a new order. Otherwise, if the Engulfed in Darkness timer has more than 45 seconds on it, we'll juggle to the next holder in sequence and carry on. Anyone who's killed will lose any currently held buffs and debuffs, so in extremis, this might be another way to manage having too many Enlightened Guardians at the same time. Although, at the cost of 1 revive token, it's not a method we'd necessarily recommend. If you miss the chalice before it despawns, someone will need to return to the last preservation bucket to reclaim it again. If it was more than 1 lamp back, you may all decide that a team wipe is your better option, rather than wait for the Engulfed in Darkness timer to expire while people plod there and back again under 10 stacks of Weight of Darkness. If you do decide to try for the chalice again, it's worth sending someone else with them if it's a long way to travel. That way there's another Guardian who can help juggle the chalice if needed on the way back. Once you get to lamp 14, as happened in our run, if the final preserve bucket is present, after using it, assuming that you've used all 4 buckets en route, you'll see the message "Somewhere a plate hums with the power of the podiums of light" on screen. From here, after you've reclaimed the chalice, you can miss out lamps 15 and 16 and head straight across to the bridge capture plate. Otherwise, you'll have to continue to lamp 15 to find the 5th preserve bucket and see the message before reclaiming and moving to the capture plate. Never stop off at lamp 16. First, lamp 16 never has a bucket, so there's never any need to, and second, it's basically a trap. You'll be unable to stand near it without being killed by a swinging lantern, so it's best to just avoid it. Once on the plate at the end of the abyss, whoever is still enlightened will need to use the buff to start the bridge building. Everyone standing on the charged capture plate will have their Weight of Darkness stacks removed as though they were standing next to a lit lamp. Charging the plate will result in additional adds spawning. As well as the regular red bar adds, you'll see a few orange bar Revenant Knights and Ogres appear, alongside regularly spawning unstoppable Ogre champions. A more experienced Fireteam can continue passing the chalice around while killing adds, enlightening people in turn for them to use on the plate. Like in the Descent section, you'll see the Accelerate Enlightenment prompt when you hold the Enlightened buff, and the message "The bridge resonates with additional enlightenment" on screen when you're successful. Alternatively, you can drop the chalice in a preserve bucket behind the plate to the left as you look at where the bridge will be created. This is what the Cluckers usually do when Sherpaing. It does take a little bit longer to build the bridge, but it means one less mechanic to think about, so everyone can just focus on holding the plate down. Once you see the flash of green flame around the edge, the in-game music will change, you'll see a message on screen that reads "The path forward is clear" and the bridge will form. You can start making your way across to the exit, just head towards the light, avoiding the lanterns and the adds that spawn, and climb up onto the bridge. Staying in the air as much as possible will mean you'll be bumping into the crowds less and can more easily avoid the lanterns, which should make your progress easier until you reach the portal at the end. It also means you'll avoid dropping into any holes in the bridge that form as it's created, and save yourself from any embarrassing last-minute deaths. There seems to be a glitch at the end of the exit tunnel. If more than one Guardian goes through at the same time, one of them will be killed. If you want to avoid this, just make sure the Fireteam goes through individually. There's no chest for this encounter. Rewards will drop directly into your inventory when the objective changes as you run towards the exit portal. You can drop the Fang of Ear-Ute Scout Rifle, Abyss Defiant Auto Rifle, Song of Ear-Ute Light Machine Gun, or chest, legs and class item armour here. When considering your loadout, there aren't really any specialised roles for this encounter as you might find elsewhere, so these same considerations apply to the whole Fireteam. You'll see lots of videos with speedrunners that use swords, particularly eager edge swords. They can be useful to help you sprint past a lantern, but you can just as easily inadvertently accelerate yourself into a nearby ad, or push a teammate into a lantern or a pit. Accidentally, or by design. If you do use one, the best advice I can give is to aim up in the air rather than in line with the ground before you swing. Unless you really know what you're doing with swords for movement, I'd counsel using a normal sword or choose a machine gun which you can use for ad clear. Red bar thralls will only take one shot to kill, so you'll have good ammo economy. Ad clearing traits like incandescent, volt shot or destabilising rounds can help clear crowds, while support traits like demolitionist, pugilist or wellspring can help with recovering ability energy. Weapon healing and overshield effects are also useful, like Unrelenting, Heal Clip and Repulsor Brace. A burst damage weapon is useful for dealing with the chunkier adds, such as Yellow Bar Blistered Thralls and Hive Melee Knights, and someone with Wither Horde can lock down an approach or fire at your feet to help keep CQC adds suppressed. Finally, as mentioned earlier, some of the Fireteam will need to be carrying weapons that can stun the unstoppable ogres when you're building the bridge to the exit. Most enemies will be up close until you get to the bridge capture plate, and thrall melee attacks are arc, so you could choose between melee damage resist or arc resist armor mods. Alternatively, if you're having problems with the ogres at the end, you could consider void resist mods. Strand subclasses are great. The grapple grenade is excellent for getting out of trouble fast, and the ability to generate woven mail helps to tank damage. If someone in your fire team has been lucky enough to get the Navigator trace rifle and the catalyst, then they can use the alt fire mode to create grapple tangles to use for faster movement. Solar cure and restoration effects are also handy. Healing grenades can be a lifesaver alongside Warlock healing rifts. Arc classes will work well too, as they can use the amplified verb when sprinting to counteract up to 9 stacks of Weight of Darkness. In our run, the order that we used for this encounter was Jester, Minnow, Sheep, Erin, Hat and Tukes, with Minnow and Tukes between them making the calls for the fire team, coordinating Enlightening and when the fire team leaves a lamp. Initially, Jester claims the chalice and he and the fire team head to lamp 1. Tukes, for reasons known only to him and in flagrant defiance of his director's standing orders, continues on to lamp 2. When Jester's chalice meter is full, he calls to Minnow, who takes it and preserves it in the first bucket. After doing this, Sheep claims it and Jester enlightens the lamp. When the light temperature changes from the lamp, everyone starts running, missing the second lamp and heading straight to the third. You'll see the risk you take with using a sword for movement, as even someone as used to using one as Tukes looks to use a heavy attack to move quickly past a lantern, but a thrall that's almost out of view behind him on his left is targeted for damage instead, pulling him the wrong way.
Alright, let's go, Pepper. I can hear myself through someone else's speakers, and boy do I sound stupid.
Can you say like that like it's not normal? But...
Oh wow, Minnow.
What admin rights is it?
Alright, man, nearly there. Go for it.
Okay, got it.
Thank you. So you coming back here, or?
Okay, checking it in the thing.
I'm last now. You were.
Alright, I'm just thinking you're going to get
Just
right.
you gonna no. Yes, no.
I've enlightened.
No.
Miss this one. Yep. You're running.
Erin, I don't want to freak you out or anything, but you'll need to pick it up for me at some point.
Yeah, don't worry. Plenty of time.
At the third lamp, while Tukes has a quick check for a preserve bucket and finding that there's not, Sheep calls for Erin to take the chalice after the meter fills, which she does. Sheep checks that everyone's present and then enlightens the lamp. Then Tukes calls out when the fire team should move.
Alright. My bad. Didn't want to freak you out or anything. If you could take it, that would be
No
fantastic.
bucket on this one.
No bucket.
Thank you very much.
So sheep
Is everyone here? Can I enlighten?
Yep.
Done.
En route to lamp 4, Erin's chalice of light meter fills. Hat is just ahead of her and stops to claim the chalice before both continue on. Tukes calls that there's no preserve bucket, so Erin again checks everyone's good to go. There's a small difference of opinion between Tukes and Minnow as to whether to wait until the next transfer is made, but Erin enlightens, and there's enough time for Tukes to claim the chalice from Hat before the lamp explodes, and Erin prompts the fire team to move on to lamp 5.
2, 1, go.
Hat, where are you? Alright, take off me now, my friend. There you go.
No bucket.
Do you want to enlighten or do you want to wait?
Right, like.
Wait until the
Now
transfer.
we're all here, we'll do one at a time.
Go.
Okay, two, can you take it?
Yep.
Go.
At lamp 5 there has to be a preserve bucket, as it's the last one in the group, which Tukes uses immediately. Minnow finds an unexpected hole, and Sheep revives him. After everyone's back at the lamp, Hat enlightens it, and Jester claims the chalice before everyone heads over to the small side chamber with the secret chest.
There'll be
You
a
have to
bucket
get
here.
the secret chest
Otherwise,
now.
stick
The
it straight in the
bucket,
bucket before I get in line.
I found a
It's
hole.
alright, we've got plenty of time.
Require me to take it now.
Ready for enlighten?
Yeah, go for it. Yeah.
Got it.
Everyone collects loot from the chest, and Minnow claims the chalice from Jester just outside the side chamber. As everyone makes their way to lamp 6, Minnow calls to Sheep to meet him en route to claim the chalice. After he does, that means there are now 2 Enlightened Guardians, Jester and Minnow, as well as 1 with the chalice, Sheep. With the engulfed in darkness timer running low, Jester enlightens the lamp as soon as he arrives. Tooks calls for the fire team to move off to lamp 7 as the lamp's light temperature changes.
And then go for the chest.
Jester, you've got it at the moment, haven't you?
I have, yeah, I'm about 60%.
Okay. Grab your thing, I'll wait here until... Wait here.
I've
Stop.
got it.
I'll stop here, I'll grab
Yeah,
it.
go. Take it.
Okay.
Think you were going to do that?
Sheep, you might have to come back towards me a bit. Because I'm a bit slow.
I am
You've got
not
15
fast.
seconds to enlighten the thing.
I'm at 90. Okay, Sheep, take it.
Basically in line as soon as you
Okay,
get here.
go to
Enlighten
Enlighten.
as soon as you get here.
Done it.
Now,
Yep.
right, yeah. Cool.
Right, where's Sheep? There he is.
With the fire team having collected the secret chest, I'll now let the rest of the video run. There are, unusually for a Clucker Guide video, few teachable moments that ensue, but hopefully you'll still be able to follow the movement of the chalice from Guardian to Guardian and how the fire team travels from lamp to lamp, checking ahead to see if the lamp is dark, knowing that if it is, there must be a preserve bucket near the lamp where they're standing. You'll see how Tooks sorts out the extra Enlighten buff in the fire team with a little juggling with Hat, taking the chalice before Hat's meter is full so that the fire team gets back on track. It's worth watching the paths the fire team takes, for the most part avoiding the obvious tiled path between each lamp and following a route either to the left or right of it to avoid the worst of the pits and swinging lanterns.
Oh, thank you, Aaron.
Go.
Time to go.
Good look out there.
Oh, if you could take it from me at your earliest convenience.
There you
Thank
go.
you very
Well
much.
done.
Sticking Enlighten on this one as we get there.
Yeah. Just wait until
No bucket.
Are you doing the Enlighten, not me? Okay.
Yeah, I was just getting rid of mine, so you can do the next one, and we're just trying to use them up as we go.
Copy that.
Okay,
there
run.
you go.
Hat, if you take it off me. There you go.
I was expecting a bucket on this one, but there isn't.
Oh, I Enlighten.
Yep.
I Enlighten the next one, or are you bucket the next one?
No. It's bucket next one, so whoever's...
I'm enlightened, so I'll do the next one after the bucket takes
Yeah.
it.
Go.
I've taken it.
Oh, you took it. Doesn't matter.
Oh, it's alright. With it
It's alright,
means
we've still got an Enlighten, haven't we? There's a bucket on this one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Done, yeah? Right.
Yep. All yours, Jess.
Yeah.
Enlightened.
Once you get there. I can't get around.
Yep, pick it up.
I got
3,
2,
2,
1, let's go.
right there.
Ow.
Everyone's here. Right.
hang on, we're waiting on Jester to fill.
Almost. Right, I'm here.
Oh, right. So,
I'm in.
okay. Right.
Yep, got it. Enlighten.
Enlightened.
Three,
2, 1, let's go.
1. Yep. I'm at 80 sheep, so
Right.
okay, I'm full,
No
take it.
bucket.
Okay, everybody's here, I'm enlightening.
Yep.
There's no bucket now? No.
Nope.
Nope, get ready.
I guess this will be the next one. Or before the hell.
3,
We will have to do a meat
1.
exchange, Aaron.
Yep. Oh, you've gone right, okay.
If you could take it.
No bucket.
Cannot see a bucket.
Oh, thank God. Are we in Enlighten?
Yep.
Yep. As soon as
Sorry.
3, 2, 1. Bucket on this one. 1 minute.
Hat, take it off me. Please. Thank on you. There's a bucket on this
Have you?
one.
So, hat in the bucket. For me.
Alright.
Do you want me to Enlighten?
Yeah.
As soon as Toots picks it up.
Yeah, in line first. Just give me a bit of time to go up the hill. I'll pick it up in a minute.
Okay, yep.
Just reduce the amount of so I can get it,
Three,
basically get up on top of the hill.
1, let's go.
Go away.
No.
That was lucky. I'm right behind you.
Cool. I'm still only 75%, so
We're good.
good time.
No bucket. So there's going to be a bucket the next one
No,
probably.
just right, lightning.
You want me to skip now, innit? Go straight over there.
There was one at the bottom of the hill. But yeah, I'm just
3,
going to check
2,
this one.
1.
Let's go.
Oh, there is a
Bucket,
bucket
There is
on this
one
one.
here.
Alright, take it in.
Yep, taking it. Got it. Enlighten when you can.
And dunk it in the bucket.
Done.
There's the bucket.
On me, Minnow.
Ah, yeah. Got it. It's in.
And then
3 seconds.
pick it up quickly
picking
before
up.
we blow up.
And run
Run, sheep!
Straight to
We ignore
the,
this one straight to the thing.
Yeah.
The sheep full.
When sheep's ready, let me know.
Yeah, 70% at the moment. Take it, please. Thank you very much.
Got it.
Enlighten? Yes, the answer
Deposit
is
it.
yes.
Yeah, Enlighten the
And
plant.
then, Erin, you can
Well, we'll just
dunk it
keep
in the
passing
bucket,
it.
can't you?
And,
We'll just keep passing it and Enlighten it gets it done quicker.
Oh, fair enough. Who's next? Hat's next.
That's
I'm
like,
still full, middle. Hat, take it off me, please.
Done.
There you go. Accelerating.
One stops here.
Toots, please.
There you go.
Cool.
That Frau just fell down a blinking hole.
I had that before, and
In the bridge. I'm just so glad that I'm a hunter and I can triple jump out of the hole.
yeah, I grappled
was
under the
that a
bridge
flawless run?
when that happened to me.
It was not a
I
flawless
died.
run because we had
No,
Minnow die
Minnow
at the
died.
beginning. But I have to say, this was one of the cleanest run. I did not want to say anything during the run, but that was, I think, the cleanest we have ever done this.
Yes. It was the first time.
Could you repeat that line for the camera just once? Just take some of the disbelief out of your voice.
I mean, that's how the clockers do it. This was nothing special.
Every time, baby.
That's the end of the first encounter in Crota's End. I can only add my own amazement to the general disbelief that this was the first ever run any of us could remember when we made it in a single attempt, and with only one death along the way. If I'm honest, this is the encounter that proved the most painful to complete when we first ran the raid, But as, over time, we've treated it less like a 4x100 metre relay and more like a 5 km fun run, the number of unsuccessful attempts before we make it through has been steadily reducing. So that's the Clucker's overwhelming lesson for the Stills encounter. Don't rush things, coordinate when you enlighten lamps, and use the timers to your advantage. I'd like to thank Priony for their incredibly detailed Crota's End encounter maps and for making them free to use, and Kyber from kyberscorner.com for permission to use their, as awesome as always, raid loot infographic. On behalf of the Cluckers, thanks for watching, we hope that's been helpful, and may all your drops be God rolls.